How's it, everybody? Brad here from BRBD Marketing, and today I wanted to talk to you about Facebook ads versus Google ads. So, before I get any further, if you don't know who I am, my name is Brad. I am the founder of BRBD Marketing. We are one of the top results-based marketing companies in South Africa, where we help our clients to get more clients. That's it. We don't worry about likes, shares, exposure. No, we want to see how many of those leads are turning into clients. That's our goal. Anyway, so I want to share two of the main sources we use with our clients, which is Facebook and Google Ads, and go through the differences between them as if you're looking at like which one works for your business. So before I get any further, why ads? Why not just do something like SEO or social media marketing? Now, both of these work. I'm not going to doubt that. However, both of them are long-term strategies. SEO, for example, if you start from ground zero, you're looking 6 to 12 months to really start to see a return on investment with lots of effort in that time period. So you're basically investing, a few grand a month for a long time period before you're really starting to see results. Social media marketing, a similar sort of instance. When you start out, again, you're starting really low. You've got to build up your audience. You've got to build up, your community. And again, takes a lot of time frame, very capital intensive, because it's time intensive to build up that audience to the point where you're seeing tangible results from it. So again, takes a long period. And so that's why we often, especially when we're starting with clients, work directly on ads, because we can switch them on and within a few weeks, the client can be seeing actual tangible results, which is important. Okay, so let's look at the two of them because both are really cool. Both have some awesome pros and some cons that you do need to take into account. For us, in general, we use Google Ads, as I would say, with most of our clients, some being on Facebook ads, and sometimes, which I'll discuss later, we use both. So, as I say, let me take you through it. So, if we start with Facebook ads, probably the one you've all seen. And can I say dipped your toe in? Now, when I talk about Facebook ads, I'm talking about the proper business Facebook ads. I'm not talking about boosting. Boosting, and I'm going to say it, and it's probably controversial, is a waste of money. You're honestly, in most cases, not going to get any results besides like, oh my word, some people like my stuff. While Facebook and Meta has tried to make things easier in their sense, in most cases, it just doesn't work. So I'm talking about the proper Facebook ads using the Facebook Ads Manager, designing a campaign and stuff, doing your targeting, and that side of things. So, just to make sure we're on the same page. So the pros of Facebook ads is it is cheaper. You can start, we've seen results from even as low as 40 Rand per day, obviously depending on your industry and what you're doing. So it is a much, much lower cost than what you can do with Google in most cases. So as I say, you can be going along with a budget of a grand even a month and actually seeing results, which is really cool. Secondly, you have a bigger reach audience than you'll see with Google, and the reason is you're reaching out to people that you're targeting, yes, but more importantly, you're reaching out to people that want your product and might not know that they want your product. So especially if you have a product that, can I say, people might not know that they need, it's quite a cool way to reach a bigger audience and to say, hey, look at our product, look how it could help your life, or look at how it could affect your business, whatever you're exactly selling, and reach that audience, which is quite cool. And lastly, it's good for short time frames. You can run 7-day, Facebook ads with success, and switch them off after that. Where on Google, it's very hard to run short-term campaigns. So as I say, it is again really cool if you're on a tight budget. You can spend a bit of money for 2 weeks, run some campaigns, and keep your budget short, which is great. Okay, so for cons, it's hard to set up. Facebook setup is quite a challenge. There's often a lot of documentation submissions. Facebook can often just block your profile as soon as you set up for no reason. If you got to say, hey, no, I'm a real person, happened too many times. There's a number of issues that can go wrong with setting up a Facebook profile. Sometimes your Facebook page is in the wrong place, and then getting it to the right place is difficult. So let's say setup can be a bit of a nightmare, even as an experienced agency like us, where we have people who have experience in their entire job is helping clients get the setup done. It is a nightmare, and sometimes you just want to pull your hair out. So that I will say. It's also very finicky, with very strict policies, meaning that all of a sudden you'll add one word to one of your ads and all your ads will suddenly get rejected, for something that's unrelated. And then you've got to request reviews, which takes time. So as I say, Facebook can be very finicky. So my advice to you would be, if you're going to really focus on Facebook ads, is make sure you read their policies, make sure you read their guidelines and stick to them to a T, because they are very strict and it's very easy to get your entire account blocked if you push or if you do things incorrectly, even unwillingly. I'm not saying you should never break policies willingly, but you can easily, without thinking, without knowing, break a policy, which kind of can lead to a thing. So as I say, that's Facebook ads, quick to get set up. And as I say, it's great to do it and run things through that. Okay, then on the flip side, we have Google ads. So Google ads, what's great about Google ads is you get a higher intent, especially if you're working with search ads, or even if with Performance Max and other ads, is you can actually detail your audience based on what they're searching, what they're looking at, and things like that, which means you can find people who really want your service. So if you, for example, are doing solar installation in Somerset West, if someone were to look up solar installation in Somerset West, we can say, hey, Google, come up then, which means someone Googling that chances are is looking for someone to install solar and they're based in Somerset West. So it's very high intent. Now, the problem with that, there are a few issues with that, which I'll get into later, but it is really cool because you can, get that targeting. You can do direct targeting. Again, find those people who are looking for that specific service, which is great. Further than that, you do have advanced targeting with Google, meaning you can find people, especially if you're targeting very specific, say, upper income brackets. You can actually find some really cool targeting with Google, and find out what are they looking for, what are they looking at, and actually, as say, target down a lot more than you can do with Facebook, which is quite cool. And location specific. Well, now, while this does happen on Facebook as well, both of them allow you to set locations. We have found on Google it's a little bit more in depth in that you can select locations. You can also select location-based keywords, like I said, solar installation in Somerset West as opposed to just solar installation. So you know what I'm saying? You can be very location specific. So if you again are in a small area that you're wanting to focus on, again, Google Ads could be a really awesome option. Now, if we go into the cons, it is more expensive. Google Ads in general, you're looking at a minimum of probably $3,000, $4,000 a month, depending. You can get away with about $2,000. Usually with our clients, we started around, $2,000 to $3,000, and build from there. With my best clients, are spending quite a bit more than that. So that is the downside. It is harder to optimize and set up. Tracking and stuff is a lot more, in depth, and most people don't know how to set up the tracking to do conversion tracking. Which means that Google's not just going to send you people who click on your ad, but going to send people who actually convert, inquire, fill out a form, phone you, things like that. So that is a lot more difficult to set up, but it's worthwhile in the end. It is a longer term. It's like, I would say, almost impossible to have a successful Google Ads campaign over a short period of time. You know what I'm saying? So if you're setting up these campaigns, they are meant to be going, on the longer term. Yes, you will get results short term. I don't want you to think, hey, I'm going to have to wait ages for a result. No, but it's not something you can just switch on and off, basically. And you do have a limited reach. The problem with higher intent is you can, sit with a slightly limited reach in an essence, especially if you don't do very in-depth keyword research like we do for our clients. So that's obviously going to depend on your capabilities, but you can end up with a limited search and potentially like a higher, cost, because you don't do more in-depth keyword targeting. Because think about it, like if I go back to my example of solar installation in Somerset West, all the companies in Somerset West using Google Ads are going to be targeting that keyword, which means it's going to be expensive to get it. So you've got to try and think outside the box, like what are people looking for around that term, so you can actually get, as I say, a good, what we call cost per lead overall, which is cool. So as I say, that's kind of, can I say, the downsides or cons of Google Ads. However, they offer really great, especially if you have a clear service, like you're a plumber, solar, you do construction, you do, law, you do, yeah, I'm just trying to think of the top ones we've dealt with. The Jobos, most of the trades, you know what I'm saying, that you're doing something very specific, frameless glass, shutters, those sort of things. Like, okay, clear, this is what I'm doing. This is what people look for. Blinds, that's what they're looking for. That's a clear one. If you have a service, as I said earlier, like where people don't know that they necessarily need your product, Google Ads is probably going to be quite a waste of time, if I'm honest. But that's how it is. Now, in general, what we do for some of our clients is use both. And how we do this is usually we run a system where, we focus on higher intent users coming in through Google Ads and then retarget those people through Facebook. So I'm not going to go into depth and details how we do it, but essentially those people then come in through Google, and then we'll see your ads on Facebook too to try and kind of close them, because as we all know, one seeing ad is not necessarily going to be enough. But anyway, that's all from me. If you have any other questions about this, feel free to inquire with us, or just post down your comment down below, and we will answer you there. Otherwise, have a great week.